Super. So, all right. Hello, folks, and welcome to Fair. My name is Neil. God damn it! I just spotted that the background on my thing is flipped, even though I use a flipped background. Ugh, I hate Discord. Uh, I
We're not
hate
on Discord.
OBS. I hate
Okay.
everything.
Oh no!
Straight
Oh,
shots. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So anyway, hello folks. My name is Neil. My pronouns are he, him, and I am the creator of Feyard, an indie TTRPG set in an alternate 19th century Earth where all the creatures from folklore and fairy tale are real, have always been real, and live alongside humanity. Um, we are currently in Paris. It's the late 19th century, 1872 specifically. Um, we are coming up to the 1 year anniversary of the final day of the Franco Prussian War, a terrible war between the nations of France and Prussia fighting combined against the Fey nation of Arcadia. But enough about that. Rather, I would ask, can one of our players give us a recap of our last session?
yes, please. So, recap of the last session. We essentially jumped this dude. He did not have a single chance when we all just teamed up on him. First, Tito with the lightning attack, and then it was like one person after the other would just essentially kick this guy while he was down. It was so beautiful. I wish there were photos of this momentous moment. But yeah, our plan pretty much went off without a hitch, except for one shady Madame Gaultier, who said she could not help us with this whole thing in the first place, but she said she would send Jerome to watch this dude's warehouse to make sure that things didn't go off, and then color us surprised after Mina essentially smashed this dude's face in, getting bone splinters in her hands. We went to this warehouse, and what? The warehouse was gutted. Not a single thing was left, and Sylvia did the druid thing, turned into a bloodhound, absolutely loved it, and sniffed that not only was Jerome there, but so was Madame G. So yes, we have a rat in our midst, and it's not Sylvia.
You missed Justine being fucking awesome with her
Oh,
Oh
awesome
yes.
yes.
plan.
How could I forget that?
Her
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh
amazing,
my
No
god.
question.
amazing plan. That
Fucking
was
on
so
fire.
good.
Yeah.
So
Justine
good.
was amazing.
Fucking
The most
on fucking
Well,
fire.
on
uh,
fire, so
She's also
duplicitous, so
started.
sneaky. It was beautiful.
Aminata, that's your 1d8 inspiration die, but that is where we are right now. You are in the warehouse that Sebastian Mont Clerc had been using as his base of operations for his arcane research. There's no one there.
Mm.
Sylvia has confirmed that both Jerome, that is the carriageman of your really, really helpful and kind, supportive, and benevolent
Liar,
Your best
liar.
friend. You love her.
patron,
Oh,
basically, Madame Josephine
fucking
Gaultier, artificer
stay
extraordinaire.
out of
He was
space
there, but
for that
also was
shit.
she. So,
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
A
mm,
I
rat is a
think
rat.
I think we need to tread carefully. Um, even if we could take her in a fight, there would be serious repercussions as she is, influential and powerful, and it would be our word. It would come back badly on us. So we should probably, um, do as Aminata always suggests and be diplomatic about
mhm.
it to start. But
Oh,
I, uh, we do need to go there. There's still no word from Gwyn, and honestly, I am starting to wonder: does she have something to do with Gwyn disappearing? I don't know, but I know one thing at a time. But just I worry about it.
of course. Gwyn is our friend. We haven't heard from her in ever since. So naturally, we'd want to inquire. And while she did say she would let us know if she reached out, this situation is very it's very alarming. I know I had my own doubts about Madame Gaultier, and so far we haven't had much of a need aside from the run-in with that group of men in that warehouse. But yes, clearly she is actually just lied point blank about what she was going to do to aid us in this fight. And yes, we will be diplomatic because, for one, the only one of us who could possibly take her on in a fair fight would be you, Monsieur Tito, and not one of us. So we cannot fight her. The only thing we can do is approach her, try to speak to her. Maybe she has a valid excuse. Maybe she does not, and she thinks that we are as expendable as that other team of mercenaries who effectively work for her. That's what we are to her. I don't think that she wouldn't discard us if we served no use to
Yeah.
her. So
Oh
we
yeah.
definitely should approach her, ask her about why she was here, and ask her about what happened to the contents of the warehouse. We will not imply that we know that she was there, and if she lies, then we know where we stand, and if she tells the truth, then we have a bit better of an understanding as to where we are.
My
So,
question, my question would be why she wasn't there. Because if I remember correctly, she was meant to watch over the warehouse in case Mont Clerc flies.
well,
Please, flies. Sorry,
flee.
English is not English in today. Um,
Well, didn't she say that she would send Jerome to watch the warehouse, and she said she could not. She could not be there.
What she'd said was she couldn't come with you to the fight at the prearranged time, that she would send Jerome to the warehouse, and she would, I think she did say she would also head to the warehouse later on. But at the time that you had arranged to meet with Mont Clerc, she wasn't free at that time. I'm
which
pretty,
sounds
that
very
was what she'd said.
suspicious because the fight didn't take too long.
I, I would want. I don't mean to. I understand that this is something that's all close to all of your hearts. I've been in the Madam's vague employ for a few months, and I mean, the most I can say is something of an opportunist. I don't. I can only imagine that. Yeah, perhaps Jerome was here watching the warehouse. He's felt the wards dropped. Let Madame Gaultier know, and Madame Gaultier said, "Let's clean the place out." It could be as simple as that. I understand that the concern is
Yeah.
more the subterfuge, and she's. Yeah, I agree. She likely should have said something. If she's, when we approached her, she could have said, "Oh, you're going to kill him? Why don't I take this stuff for this reason?" So I understand. Yeah, there's a concern for trust, but I don't. I
Well,
don't necessarily know there's anything.
we approach carefully, and let's just go to the shop and
Yeah, exactly. We'll just go. We'll speak to her,
the
and
warehouse, whichever.
I will do what I do best and see if you know,
Mhm.
and see
Yeah,
what comes of it.
I've also got a good eye for working out someone's sort of behaviors. I just wonder. So fighting, we're taking that off the table just because if we do get there and she says something that we don't like, do we then just leave? Or
Well,
Uh,
we will not engage in a fight. I do not think
hmm.
a fight would be beneficial, and we know how powerful she is. So,
yeah. Well, I'm
Also,
glad
it
to
would.
I'm glad to hear you say it. I am. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think, and also it would just come back on us badly. She could easily
Yeah.
frame it as, oh, if we have
I
attacked
don't
her.
I don't think we should fight
well,
her, but I want to talk to her
Of
oh
course,
yeah,
about
yes.
of course.
hey,
Oui.
I want Montclerc's Book of Shadows. And B,
Yeah.
Tito puts his hand up and he says, would you like me to come as well? It seems like this is going to be more of a conversation than a conflict. So I do not feel I could add much. I'm happy to come if you
I
feel the
mean,
need,
you're
but
welcome. I
but
don't.
this is between yourselves and your employer, no?
Of
if
course, and I
anything,
think. She might be a bit more guarded if you were there, Tito.
Exactement.
And if
I,
anything, Tito, you were a massive help. I don't think we would be able to come out of this fight as easily as we did if it wasn't for you. And you deserve.
I mean, I
You
think
also deserve whatever Mont Clerc had and whatever you might
I,
fancy.
I have no interest in any
Oh,
of that man's
that is a good
possessions.
point.
I
You
was
might
going
be
to ask if
surprised.
we should give you some gold or something.
I have no interest in no. It's okay. I do not
What
need
do you
gold.
have interest in, Tito?
Travel.
Ancient Rome.
Ancient
History, perhaps?
civilizations.
Good company, good wine, good food, a good
Well,
bed to sleep in. What
Oh,
more do you need in life?
that is.
the simple pleasures are that's nice.
The simple pleasures I have found in my life are the truest treasures in life. But as you know, I am just a simple man of the road.
Well, if okay, if we
Question is, how
do.
long have you been on the road?
Mm,
Who built the roads? I
who
wonder.
can I start
When you
doing
first
some like
wandered it, yes.
You can do whatever you want.
I want to
Was
start
it Roman legionnaires or whoever fucking built the road? Anyway,
So
let's.
is everybody just like
No,
making
but
all?
Yeah, everyone's just around him going, "How do you feel about ancient Rome?"
Oh, we were going to the
a
shop.
group of bards, perhaps? Name your top 5 gods right now.
What about Madame Gaultier?
No, this is more important. This is more important.
What is your opinion of the Stoic philosophies of Marcus Aurelius?
Oh,
Exactly.
Name your favorite philosophers. How many times have you visited the forum?
So okay,
Hmm.
I want to see if there's been any sort of like any slight sort of. I want to read the vibes between Justine and Tito right now.
Okay, sure. So let me just looking at your character sheet here. So this is going to be awareness.
They love a vibe.
It would be keen eyes or empathy. You have keen eyes. You do not have behavioralist, unfortunately. And
Right.
so yeah, you wordsmith, mimicry, conversationist. Those are all skills that you add when you are trying to persuade or influence, not when you're trying to get insight into somebody. So this is just a straightforward awareness roll +3.
Okay. Let's go. Ha! Nice. 21.
Hey.
Yeah. So you're trying to figure out what are Tito's vibes towards Justine.
Well, the
When she
vibe's
was-
going
when she
either
was-
way. So like
Right.
Well,
obviously very pointed comments.
So Justine, with that roll, what did you say? It was 21, 23? I can't remember.
21.
21. So Justine, what vibes would she be picking up off you directed towards Tito?
Well, Justine is definitely interested. Maybe not necessarily interested as like romantically. I feel like Justine, in terms of like orientation, she would be very much like sapiosexual / like demisexual. So I don't think she would feel like any attraction towards anyone without getting to know them.
Oh no, it
But
wouldn't
she's-
be those vibes for sure.
But she's definitely interested. She's like, I wanna know what you are, and I'm like, I'm not going to let it go.
A scholarly.
I've uncovered many plots already, and you're my next step.
Detective is coming out.
Tito the Enigma.
Justine is undercase. Tito is fucked.
Just a big rubber band
Absolutely.
layer.
With what I will say, you don't get much off Tito. This man is so stoic. He is so reserved. Like he's not closed or unwelcoming or introverted, but he's just seems to be so in control of emotions that he doesn't give away anything unless he wants to. If you get me? He is human. No, he is human. As I said before, just physical description of him. He's about 170 centimeters, curly brown, tan Mediterranean skin, beautiful dark, soulful brown eyes. But yeah, very like quite
But definitely
easy.
Roman, right?
Well,
Greek.
Would you
Well,
describe his nose
Mediterranean.
as aquiline?
So as I said, kind of tan Mediterranean skin. So he could be from Italy. He could be from Nice. He could
Greece?
be, from. He
Ancient
could
Greece?
be from Madrid. He has like a lean athletic build like that. Like maybe a farmer might have. Somebody with like
Yeah.
very lean kind of functional strength kind of build.
Or a
Um,
legionnaire? Mm-hmm.
or somebody who is a simple man of the road who lives his life traveling from place to place
Yeah, simple man of
and
the
gets
road.
money from
Yes,
being a laborer.
absolutely.
So yeah. So but with your 21, you get from Tito towards Justine. It's almost like a respectful amusement from somebody recognizing somebody who is very intelligent, very insightful. That's the kind of vibe you're getting.
Real recognizes real.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Um.
Oh,
hmm.
this is gonna bug me now.
Okay. Ooh, question.
All
In
right.
terms of Tito's accent, does he have an accent?
He has this kind of weird accent.
Oh, he has one of those neutral ones.
The everyman.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of, but it's that level of neutral that Dutch people have. Where it's like you're not sure is it a neutral accent or five accents merging together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've all met Dutch people where they have this really weird accent that on the one hand sounds neutral, but on the other hand sounds like a blend of 3 or 4 different accents. That's what his accent is like.
So what you're saying is the accent of someone who is not a native speaker but has been speaking the language enough so that he sounds like a native speaker, but yet he doesn't have any regional accent because he didn't grow up speaking the language. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, yes and no, because you have to remember that in 19th century France, the French language was not fully unified. The government was carrying out pretty brutal measures to wipe out the regional dialectal differences. But the dialectal differences in French were so strong that you could have two people from different parts of France who could barely understand each other. So not to be that guy, but in this 19th century world, it would be hard to know, is he somebody who is not a native speaker, or is he simply somebody who learned regional French from one part of the country? And like that's even still true to this day. Like a friend of ours, his wife is from France. She's from the southern part of France, and she has words that she thought were just normal French words, and then when she was in university, discovered no one outside of like a 60-kilometer radius of where I grew up uses this word at all. It does not exist in the French language.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm not just going to be like.
I will say, going back, sorry to interrupt, going back to your point on him being native speaker, he does speak using all of the idioms and colloquialisms of a native speaker.
So he's been around for a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he does speak with a high level of, I hate the word fluent because fluent is a bullshit, almost colonialist term, but he has an exceptionally high level of competence in language. He's using all the kind of idioms in the correct context that a native speaker would use.
So Aminata would be able to suss this out, obviously. Being a native speaker themselves, but also they might be able. Would they be able to kind of suss if there was like any sort of like Greek influences because of their mother, actually?
Ooh. Just waiting for it. No.
No.
Let's go.
Okay.
That's what I was waiting for.
You got a good roll. You got a bit of info. That's what
Okay,
you're getting.
that's,
Okay.
that's fair. That's fair. That's
I
fair.
love a no. I love a no. So good.
So, Tito is going to depart. Are you guys going to jump in a cab and
Yes.
Yeah.
to Madame Gaultier's house or to her shop?
Um,
Uh,
I think her shop. If we show up at her house,
Don't
I
forget,
think.
it's evening time. We're late in the evening.
Okay, so
Yeah,
yeah,
you're-
going to
her
her house would
house.
make more sense then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact time.
oh, it was like
That
9
you-
or something.
But it was
Pretty much.
late in the evening, you know.
Yeah, it was 9 or something.
Yeah, I think he's met Mont Clerc at 8 or something, and
And we beat his
between
ass by
the
like
fight,
5:15.
but between the fight and then traveling to his warehouse, and now it is proper. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's still daylight because it's France and we're in late April, so the sun's still going to be up for probably another 40 minutes, maybe more.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
Super.
hop in a
So
taxi.
you hop in a cab. I don't even care. You can record the coppers if you want. I really don't care. You guys have so much gold. It doesn't matter. And you get to her house. Okay.
Mhm.
Lights are on. There's clearly people at home.
Okay. Going to go up to the door and knock politely.
Knock politely, and a moment later, one of her household staff, one of her maids who you've met before, recognized, she opens the door and says, "Oh, good evening. Please, come in." And you all come in, and she just goes ahead of you and goes, "Madame Gaultier, it is the group, the
The
She's
group.
like, what do I call these people?
Yeah.
My boss,
How do I
without
announce
being
this?
rude, you know." And
It's that
and
one.
you see Josephine's like, "Do you mean my Aminata, Sylvia? Is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah, please come in, please. I'm first of all, I am. Are you all okay? As you're walking in, she's like, "Are you all okay? Was anybody hurt?"
Oh, no. It was
No.
quite
It was an
painless.
efficient fight.
It was painless for us anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you come in. She's sitting on a chaise lounge. She is sipping a glass of wine. You see a large book on the table.
Oh, okay. She's not
And
hiding
she
it.
says, "Oh, well, I am very happy that you are all." Oh, that first of all, is he dead?
Oh, very
Oh,
dead.
yeah.
Well,
Very
I-
much
oh,
so.
yeah.
Perfect,
um,
perfect. So I'm very glad that you're all. Please, would you like wine,
some wine.
champagne to celebrate?
Do you have
Mina's
anything
kind of
stronger?
looking at she's looking at Sylvia just to, or sorry,
Sylvia's looking
Sylvia
at me.
is looking at Mina to kind of just try and, she's like, she knows that she is not really okay, so she's gonna try and kind of take lead on how to proceed from her right now.
I think something a bit stronger than champagne would not go amiss, madame.
Some port, maybe.
Yeah, it's late. I
Well,
could go for a port.
Sherry. I mean, I'm not a big fan of sherry myself. I find it too sweet.
A port
I
would
quite-
be
Okay.
lovely for
So
me
she-
anyway.
So she just gestures, and a little
Nothing,
bell.
thank you.
A little bell rings, like about a meter away on one of the side tables. She's out of the bell rings, and a moment later, one of the mates was, "So, can we get who's having champagne?"
No, thank you.
I would take a sherry if you have sherry.
Sherry. Mina, would you perhaps like something stronger? Some schnapps, maybe, or
No, thank you.
okay. What about a hot cocoa?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Ooh, oh, okay, Mina's in that zone. God.
No.
Yeah. No. Okay. So Sherry, Justine,
Winds up a little bit.
I'll have some wine, please.
some wine. Sylvia,
Oh, I think I'm okay. Thank you very much, though.
are you sure? I mean, I have an extensive cellar.
Oh no, it's all right. Thank you.
And Aminata, a port, yes?
S'il vous plaît.
D'accord. So the maid goes off and comes back a minute later with the drinks for those people who want them. And as you know, she says, "So, Justine, I assume that you may want this. This is Mont Clerc's Book of Shadows. I have no need for it."
Thank you very much.
Outstanding
I
first
was
move.
looking for it indeed.
No,
Mm.
of
I
course.
was looking for it indeed.
I have no need for it, so it is yours.
You
It
can
seems like
hear
you
like
you
the
you
weird
tried
noise.
to.
And also, and she gestures, and a small pouch comes up. This was some coin that he had on him, and I really feel that you should all have it. It looks like it's about 150, maybe 200 gold.
Madame Gaultier,
my
excuse
God.
me for maybe asking, but what happened from your side?
Well, we were waiting to see if he did escape you all, and then we noticed that his wards had fallen, so I took that as a sign that he was most likely dead, so we went in and basically took everything. I mean, you know what his research was like. The last thing we wanted was that falling into the wrong hands. And also, if I may be so blunt, like, and I've looked through some of his work is safely up in my laboratory, but I did look through his journals and his notes. He may have been a horribly evil man who deserved to die a horribly painful death, but he was also brilliant.
Oh,
Oh,
He was
well,
You
his
can hear.
work, and
yeah.
I do genuinely feel that this work could help so many people.
You can hear. You
uh,
can hear a really weird noise
Yeah,
coming
Mina.
from Mina. And when you look, you can just see how she's like grinding her teeth, and all you can hear is like.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a dentist
Ma-
No,
perspective.
Madame, we obviously, well, thank you for taking care of that side of things, but
mm,
and we understand how the practical applications of Mont Clerc's work
mm,
in the right hands would be amazing. We've all like we have, but we have seen what he did to get to that point with this knowledge, and it's it is quite terrifying. And
I
he
can.
definitely did deserve to die in a
Oh
very
no,
cruel and
absolutely,
painful manner.
absolutely.
Which he
I can.
did.
So Amanata, I can tell you now, any of his writings on those disgusting devices to try to trap and control the mind, that is being burnt. I do not trust anybody with that kind of power. But his other work, his work on developing prosthesis, that has a sound and viable application. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of veterans who lost limbs in the war recently. And I am confident that if I have a few more months studying his work, with my experience in artificery, I could start producing these. I would obviously start with the families, the wealthier families whose sons lost limbs to help fund the research.
Of
Because I
course
do,
you would.
well, it is because no, you do not understand, Sylvia. I do actually feel that with the with enough research and enough work, I could develop a variant of these prostheses using cheaper materials which will allow an enchantment to produce a limb which is functionally essentially the same as a natural limb, but without any of the additional strands or other things that Mont Clerc was adding on. And
Oh, so purely a replacement.
this cheaper material would mean a lower cost, making that more available to the masses.
Madame
Yeah, I
Gaultier.
think
Can
what we
I?
are scared of is, the other research that he had that took control of the
Oh,
mind.
that will be destroyed. Justine,
Um,
Justine.
Justine is just going to address Madame Gaultier and
Mm.
just say, Madame Gaultier, I would like to participate in your research.
Absolutely. Like you have quite a brilliant mind. I do feel that if you were to work on this, it would take you a lot longer than me. But absolutely, I would love your help with this. I have
As
already
well
worked
as,
alongside you, and yes,
as
and
well as I feel like you're probably right, the technology is still there, and if we're not proceeding with it, someone else eventually will find it out, and someone else
yes,
eventually will come up to the same thing. So what we'll need to do when
yeah.
this whole thing is over, we'll need to sit down and come up with rules and regulations, because you use your power and influence.
Well, this is where, as I said, I mean, I have worked alongside industrialists and capitalists in Parisian society for a long time. I know how these people think. And if this wondrous new magical device, for want of a better word, is offered first to those wealthy people who can afford it, because Magitech is expensive. We all know this because of the nature of it. It takes extensive skill to produce these materials, and they normally must be produced using components that are themselves very expensive. Base
Let alone
metals.
production,
Yeah.
installation as well.
Well, no.
Towards the enchantment as
Yeah,
well, isn't it?
base metals do not hold enchantments generally. You understand? Um, whereas I feel if I had an alloy that was a simple a steel or a brass, but with maybe 5% fey iron in it, a very small amount, enough to hold an enchantment, we could make a prosthesis that is now suddenly not using extremely expensive materials and components that we could offer to the soldiers of the army and not just the lieutenants and the colonels of the army. You understand? And this is going, and what you're saying, Justine, of if it is marketed in the correct way, people will be thankful that this new development has occurred. Look, the sad truth of the matter is the fact that Mont Clerc had almost perfected this means if he had not, in the next 5 years, someone else would have. That is the nature of science. That is the nature of research. That is the nature of discovery.
I
And,
do understand we can't suppress this,
and,
but I feel a lot better with Justine working alongside you. I know.
oh, absolutely. And if Justine decides that she wishes to retire from the life of adventuring, I would be very happy if she were to work permanently alongside me here in Paris. But can now that this technology exists, if I did not create it, if Mont Clerc did not create it, someone would. And
Perhaps a rival.
like any technology, once it exists, unfortunately, at some point somebody will abuse it. Now,
So we need to.
all we can do to stop him is destroy all of the work that he had on those enhancements that were designed to trap and control the mind. All that work will be burned.
Can I?
Yeah, why don't we burn it right now? There is a fire, isn't there?
Yes, we could. Just give me one
In
more.
fact, I would actually like to witness this happening right now.
Of course. Excusez-moi, I will go and get it. And she gets up and leaves, and you hear her going upstairs to her laboratory.
Mina's gonna just, or sorry, Mina, I keep saying, Sylvia's gonna go over to Mina. She's not gonna like put her arm around. She's just gonna stand a little bit nearer to her, just in a like, kind of, I'm here for you, but not like, just kind of, you know, don't mess with my friend.
So
I'm gonna close the distance.
Annalise, yes.
I'm just gonna close the distance to Aminata for a second and just lean down and go, do you think she's telling the truth?
Well, that's kind of what I'd hoped to do before she was asked a million questions and went off. I was hoping to try and glean some insight into Isho's telling the truth, but I don't know if I'd be able to.
You can give me that role now anyway, like.
I think she is telling the truth, and actually his words falling is a very reasonable and logical excuse. In fairness.
So about a minute or so later, you hear the footsteps as Madame Gaultier comes back down, and she's holding two journals, okay? And coming down, she hands one to you, Justine, and said, this was where half of his work was, this is the other half. Let's go through it, and we'll find any of the pages that refer to enchantments or enhancements to control or beguile the mind, yes? So yes. She's handing you the book, and you can see, because you have his first journal, his primary journal that you took. So it's the exact same format, the exact same thing with his handwritten notes. You know it's him because you recognize the handwriting. You've read it so many times now, and his like theories on different forms of prosthesis, theories on ways to enhance them, theories on what would be the optimum additional enchantments to put in them. But then you do find a few sections where he's talking about, crowns of control, and this is the messed up shit where he was like, controlling people's minds and shit like that. So you start tearing those pages out, and you spend a couple of minutes looking through it until you are confident you have found all of the pages in that journal. And while you're doing that, Josephine is doing the same with the other journal.
Madame Gaultier, I don't mean to wonder. Your shop, I presume you've got some guards and wards up on it?
Of course.
Okay. My only concern is that we know that Mont Clerc was working with some sort of criminal cell planning a job of some kind. It's only a matter of time before they return to his warehouse to find it ransacked, and I would imagine the
but you
shop
must,
of a prominent.
Annalise, the workshop was not ransacked, and it wasn't ransacked. It was empty. It hadn't been ransacked. It looked,
cleaned out.
it was cleaned out. It wasn't ransacked.
Okay.
And she says, "Well, we made sure not to ransack it, so that when his underworld companions come looking for him, they will find what appears to be an abandoned warehouse. They will most likely think that he has fled Paris with the gold that they gave him with the promise of the enhancements."
I suppose that's fine, then, yeah. Excuse me for presuming.
No, of course. We must consider these things. And if I may be so blunt, I'm not worried about Parisian folks.
No, I was not. I was more worried for your staff, and
No, they are well protected. So at this point, she has gotten what you assume is all the pages from the other journal relating to messed up mind control-y shit, and she's looking around. I guess we should just throw them in the fire. I was going to be fancy, but... And she gets up and throws her pages in the... There's a fire in the living room, and she just throws hers into the fireplace. And she turns to you, Justine, gesturing for you to say. I will be honest with you all. I never took any liking to the Sphere of Chaos, those magics that can control the mind and beguile the senses. That was something that Mont Clerc did, probably an inferiority complex, because as a man he was worried what people thought of him and thought he could change what they think of him. You know what men are like.
I began learning, and I just everything about it just made me so uncomfortable. I know one spell, I don't like it.
So, some of the spells from that sphere can be useful, but it's not. It's not an area of magic that has ever held any allure for me.
I have one, very minor spells that can make true fae more receptive to me. But...
Well, of course, as a druid, you would be, yes, absolument. That is exactly the kind of useful magic from the Sphere of Chaos that I was referring to. Those kind of auguric aids that can allow you to...
Yeah, but any of the others, madness and...
Oh, horrible.
They make me very uncomfortable. I don't...
madness commanding others, then there is a gas. They are truly awful spells.
There was a battle mage that I knew who had these spells, and he died, of course.
Gas was a good spell.
Tell me about it.
We love a little gas.
She's now, Justine, here you go. And Justine, I have shared with you a link to the character sheet for Sebastian Mont Clerc, including his Book of Shadows. Ooh. So you now have...
And I've been looking at it for the past 10 minutes.
I love this. This is Justine's villain origin story.
Please don't stop it.
I love it.
Sit there turning pages, getting mad by the moment.
I need power.
Obviously, it's you know spells from the spheres of arcane, earth, and is it what's the other one you know?
Twilight.
Yes. And Mont Clerc knew spells from the spheres of arcane,
Fire and chaos.
fire, force, and chaos.
Okay.
So I'm not saying you couldn't take spells from those other spheres, but you would only be currently, when you level up again, you could take first level spells from any of those three spheres, and you would not need to do a fun arcane research and roll to see what happens. You can transcribe directly from his book of shadows to yours.
Yay!
So how do I do it exactly?
So basically, it's like literally like if it's from one of the spheres that you don't have access to, you can only take a first level spell, and you literally just pick
Okay.
the first level spell from his book of shadows that you want, and then you're just copying the spell into your book of shadows directly, so you get the spell without having to do arcane research. So when you level up again and get access to more spells, you can start copying from him.
Amazing. So I can technically copy his entire book of shadows in like next level.
No, you can copy ones. You can only copy the spells that you know that you can learn. So at the next level, you'll get a first, second, third, and fourth level spell. So you
you
can
copy
copy
first,
up to
you
four
copy
spells from his
yeah,
book of
yeah,
shadows.
Okay, you'll have to send me like a WhatsApp or something because I'll forget.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. All right. So anyway, yes. And Josephine picks up the pouch, like the leather pouch, and she's like, Sylvia's over in the corner with Mina. She hands it to you, Amanada, and you're like, okay, there's a bit of weight in this. There's a good bit of coin here, you know.
Madame Gaultier, has there been any word from Vin?
No, there has not, and I'm going to try to use my connections in other parts of the city to see if I can find word from her. But unfortunately, Sylvia, Paris it's one of the biggest cities in Europe, and
But
with her
you have
but with her abilities as well, she honestly, if Gwyn does not wish to be found, there is very little I or anyone except maybe another witch
you
could
have
do
access
to
to
find
the
her.
sphere of Twilight. You can
I do have access to the sphere of Twilight, but I do not know any of the scrying or divinatory spells from that sphere that might help me find Gwyn. So yes, unfortunately, the best person to find who would probably be another witch. And there are witches in Paris. I know a few, of course, but I do not know if witches would be willing to help find a sister of theirs who has decided they do not wish to be found. We must believe in Gwyn. We must trust her. She is an accomplished and powerful young woman. I do not fear for her safety. I do not at all fear for her safety. I'm sure she will be fine. And I'm sure when she feels ready to return to us, she will.
Amanata, how was that roll? This is a great time to find out if she's lying.
That roll. So would I've been using my keen eyes, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would have been a 23.
Ooh.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, she's telling the truth. She's legit. She has not heard from Gwyn, and she genuinely is not concerned for her safety because she believes Gwyn will be able to protect herself.
Oh, I have no doubt that she's not concerned for her safety.
And
No, she's not concerned for she's not concerned for her safety because she trusts and believes that Gwyn can look after herself. That's what you're getting with that role.
Okay, but initially the role was for the burning of the pages.
Well, I mean, look, you're not a sorcerer, so you don't fucking know. But as far as you can tell, she was legit doing it, and the fact that she gave the other journal to Justine to rip out pages as well, and was not trying to hide anything, it does suggest that no, she did literally just rip out all the pages of the fucked up shit that he was doing so that they could be destroyed.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. still don't trust her though.
Aminata is not convinced at all.
You
No,
guys are
no.
you.
Neither
I
am I.
I don't care. You guys are paranoid fucks anyway. So like
Well,
my
who's
my
to say we're
players.
not?
Why? I wonder
Um,
why. I
It's
wonder
all your
why.
fault. Yours.
you have not had a single NPC in this campaign betray you.
Not this
Yet.
campaign.
Yet.
We've
Mm,
been playing for nearly 2 years.
There have been many an
Wait for it.
NPC who've had some secrets.
Everyone
Oh,
has secrets.
sorry. I'm sorry. Who's talking about secrets right now? I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Yes.
Shot fired.
So,
Hot kettle, I know.
Josephine offers you all another drink. She's not trying to kick you all out. And she does talk to you, Justine. Like she's actually having a serious conversation. You're like, look, seriously, how much longer are you going to be staying in Paris? Because you guys have said you're going to go. Did you guys tell Josephine about the dragon?
No.
Okay.
No.
So she's like, how much longer are you staying in Paris? I feel like you want to move on and do some further adventuring. While you're here, I would be very happy if you wanted to work alongside me in my laboratory, but you know,
I would be happy when I have time.
of course.
Would it be okay if I just pop over to your shop from time to time?
Absolutely. Well, actually, most of the research I will be doing on this will be here, not in my shop.
Mhm.
Because my laboratory
Yes, your whole
here is my laboratory here is where I do my all of my research. My workshop in the store is where I do my manufacturing.
So you would research the prosthetics here, and you would make
Yes.
them
Exactly.
It is also most secure, so I cannot fault you for doing that.
Yes, all of my most closely guarded secrets are upstairs in this house, and even an ancient vampire was not able to get in.
there.
We, which was quite the relief.
Mm.
Well, Madame, I dare say we will not take more of your time because I'm not just
No.
going to be like sussing out like Mina and being like, okay, yeah, we need to.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
Mina's eyes are kind of glazed over, even though she hasn't drunk anything.
Exactly.
And then she's
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of looking at Madame Gaultier as we're kind of going, and then she's just kind of like, I punched his face into a bowl.
Good. Good.
Yes.
He deserved it.
Okay, let's get you home.
Okay. Back to the
Yeah, just
convent.
completely like she's not even looking at anyone in particular. She's kind of more looking into
If I may ask,
million away stare, kind of like million miles stare, like you know.
if I may ask, what did you all do with the body?
I suppose we just kind of left it there.
I will send Jerome, and if the
Punched it
constabulary,
into a pulp, took
I mean,
everything
half
of
of it is more
value, and
And at
slurry
least-
than body now. Yeah.
and okay, I assume
Take a shot.
I assume magic was used. Yes.
Prodigiously, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And-
And also,
and-
believe
and-
me, no one will be able to recognize him.
No, but that's not my point.
Oh.
And Elise, I assume you used your firearms, way.
Yeah, there should be
Okay.
a round or two.
Well, I mean, the part of the city that you said you were meeting him in, there's a chance the constabulary would not have gone or might wait until the morning. So I will send Jerome and ask him to do some work. We will not be able to hide the body, but we could certainly start a fire, cause the structure to collapse in on itself.
Of course, the structure is halfway done. I think.
Oh, parfait!
A well-aimed
Jerome will. If the constabulary come looking tomorrow, all they will find is a charred skeleton. They will not be able to identify anything. And if his skull has been caved in, well, that's from the falling rocks. Parfait.
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. We must go now.
Mm.
And I'm not just gonna be like, just kind of shepherding Mina out the door, with a very openly not obviously concerned in front of
She
Mina's
just
face,
lets
but,
you
like,
do it. She's not even resisting or reacting at all.
Yeah.
She's just like,
Yeah.
Sylvia knows exactly what's going on, but she's going to let Aminata do their thing because, this is just shit that Aminata's better at. But Sylvia knows what's going on. So
Yeah. Everybody is checking in on Mina and making sure that she's okay.
Yeah.
1,000 miles stare, like
Mm.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think that's
Super.
sorted.
So, we shall say then that with the party jumping in a cab and being dropped to their various houses, guest houses, and lodgings, feeling not as exhausted as you did fighting the Baron, you all head to bed. Um, Considerably richer than you were before, and Justine carrying the Book of Shadows of a quite
Yes,
powerful sorcerer.
yes.
I am actually so happy that Justine got that book. I'm
Yeah.
so happy.
Oh,
So,
I was prepared to fight that bitch over it. So
I really was.
Oh,
I really was.
Sylvie is not above pulling hair. Like,
um,
Give the book.
this
Wings on
is
the green.
this is a perfect place to pause in our story. We will be back in 5 minutes, folks. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I promise we will be back, and we'll see what's to happen next. Okay.
okay.
go.
I'm going to go back into Twitch.
Okay, folks, and welcome back to Fae Earth, our indie TTRPG set in an alternate 19th century Earth where all the creatures from folklore and fairy tale are real, have always been real, and live alongside humanity. When last we left our heroes, the party, being typical paranoid players, had gone to visit their NPC ally, Madame Gaultier, thinking that she had betrayed them. It turned out she hadn't, and in fact gave them some very valuable items, including the Book of Shadows, that is the list of spells that the sorcerer artificer they had just butchered had recorded, which Justine can now use and copy some of them to her own Book of Shadows as she levels up and gains more spells. So, the party, all eventually going back to bed, have long night's rests. You wake up the next morning feeling quite fresh and ready to fight another day. It is Tuesday morning, Tuesday the 23rd. All right. Now, as you are, I guess, sitting down to breakfast, or rather, just as you get back up to your room from breakfast, Sylvia, you spot on your arcanogram a light. It appears you have a letter.
Yes! Oh God, Gwen!
No. Heinrich.
Not Gwen. Oh, that's also great. But
So,
he must have gotten your second message then.
yes.
yeah, I'm like, hey, not dead. Hey, bro.
So this is what you get as a letter from Heinrich. My little Lily, I was so relieved when I got your second letter. I did not sleep all night when I got your first letter of your upcoming battle. It sounds like your friends were very lucky to have you there. Some of them would certainly be dead if you had not been there to protect them. I must admit I sometimes struggle with the knowledge that my little sister has become such a powerful druid. I am very sorry to hear Gwen has departed. We had several people flee during the war, and while some of my fellow officers called them cowards who deserved the firing squad, I could never agree, though I kept my dissent silent. I also kept silent when I discovered any information on the whereabouts of missing soldiers. You will be happy to know I will be in Paris soon. I am arriving at midday on Tuesday the 7th of May and will be there until Saturday the 11th. I did everything I could to ensure I would be with you on the anniversary. I ask that you continue to be careful and continue to be safe. I look forward to seeing you. Love, Heinrich. And Justine, just as you're I guess as you come down after having had breakfast and gone up to your room, as you come back down, your landlady hands you a letter that has just arrived by post.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And opening it up, you see it is a letter from your brother Jan.
Hello.
Oh.
So the letter says as follows: My dearest Justine, I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing to tell you that I will be in Paris soon. I am arriving on Monday the 29th to attend a merchant's exhibition of traders dealing in goods from South America. There will be a number of vendors there selling cocoa beans, and I'm hoping to acquire new contacts for the family business. It has been some time since we've been in communication, and for that I am sorry. When I returned home, I had some trouble adjusting. What happened with Melisande was very complex, and my feelings on it are still not fully resolved. While I do feel that it started as a consensual romance, I believe she definitely used her exceptional arcane powers to influence my mind the longer I was with her. I have been throwing myself wholeheartedly into the business, much to the delight of Father. He is already saying if I continue this, that in 5 years he can retire. I have, however, been able to procure a number of contracts with some very fine hotels in Ghent, Bruges, and Brussels, providing them with cocoa that they offer their guests, and this has brought in significant revenue. It would seem spending time in the army has sharpened my mind, and I've become quite the businessman. I look forward to seeing you soon. Love, Jan.
Oh, yay!
How cute.
Well, Justine is going to just grab a piece of paper, her quill, and just like spilling the freaking ink everywhere. Just going to write a response.
course,
dear Jan, I'm delighted to hear from you. My apologies for not being in contact lately. A lot of things had happened, but I'm delighted to assure you that I'm in a good form and a good health, and everything is great with me. It's fantastic to hear that you're doing well. I think I think losing yourself in work is the best way to approach it. I have something to share with you as well. I think I found my calling. I think I found what I want to do in life. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Your sister, Justine.
Oh,
So yeah,
sweet.
you put that up into an envelope, write his address, and you'll be bringing it to the post office to post off now today. Okay, right. So, folks, what are our plans? What would we like to be doing?
I have a thing I need to do. I need to go into. I need to get a dress.
Oh yes, you need to get a dress when you're invited to dinner with Moraine.
So Sylvia is gonna say that to Justine and just be like, as you know, Maureen asked me to dinner, and I think I need a dress that is more fitting the occasions and the dress that I normally wear, but the ball gowns that I have is not appropriate either. So I need to go and do that. You can see Sylvia is really, really uncomfortable with the idea of having to go to a dressmaker again.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I forgot to say it was 200 gold in the bag that you got last night, so that's 40 gold each. You can add to your character sheets. A not insignificant sum of money.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
Justine is very visibly excited, but she is just like coughs a little bit, and she's like, "Of course, I understand. And if you would like, I can accompany you." But she's like crossing the fingers behind her back. She's like, "I want to go dress shopping."
Yeah,
so of course she's not going to say that. She's just trying to be like as composed as possible.
Oh, thank you. I would really appreciate having you there. If you're not doing anything else today, I would just appreciate it. I don't know what's appropriate, and she is an elf, and if I feel like if I'm wearing something wrong, I don't want to upset an elf, and I know there are rules, and I don't know any of them, so...
Of course, I will be happy to accompany you.
Oh, cat! Sorry. Oh, yeah, so, unless, yeah, so, thank you.
Baby. Hello. Hello, hi.
I love how, like, the two party introverts are, like, being, like, really awkward at each other, and every so often it's like, Kenny!
Cat.
That's how I imagine us living together was, but Anki instead of Kitty.
Yeah, basically.
So I need to go buy it. Ooh.
Okay, so Justine and Sylvia are going to go dress shopping, yeah? So you want to get an evening gown as opposed to a ball gown, yes?
Yes. So obviously, as you know, Neil, I have been looking at a lot of dresses.
No, I was not aware of that fact at all. It's not like you've been spamming us all with Pinterests.
I did a couple of Google searches for House of Worth ball gowns from 1872, and I have just been getting spammed every single day since.
Oh, yeah.
That is what is happening.
Uh-huh.
A new patron reward. Every week you get a drop of Susie's favorite dresses in your inbox.
I love the Victorian silhouette much.
It's beautiful.
It's far superior to the Regency silhouette. I'm sorry.
I really don't like the Regency style at all.
Empress style necklines only look good on a very specific body shape. That happens to be Nicola Coughlin's body shape because she is a queen.
No, every single time I wear one, right? I used to have a couple of dresses that were Empire line, and every time I wore one, I would get shit from at least one person for drinking because they thought I was pregnant. every time. Every fucking time. And they'd be like glaring, and I'd just be like,
But
eyeballing them, knocking back a full glass of wine. What?
I do
So-
know people have been posting comments pointing out the fact that in Bridgerton, everybody's like commenting on Penny and how unattractive she is, whereas in the
Like,
Regency
are you?
period, but in the Regency
She's-
period, her body type was
Was
considered
the
the
ideal.
epitome
Yeah.
of beauty.
Yeah.
But
She
she's
was,
gorgeous
yeah.
anyway.
She
Yeah,
is
but
no, but that's
also-
irrelevant in terms of the historical period that it is set in. Her body type was
The artistic ideal.
the absolute epitome of beauty. Every young
Because
maiden wanted to look like her.
softness was associated with wealth.
Yeah,
Softness and pale
absolutely.
skin
Yeah.
were signs of
Absolutely.
wealth.
having
The heroin
having
chic of the
curves.
90s just has a
Yeah.
lot to answer for.
Yeah, but it's
For
like
Oh,
sure.
gee, it
having
really
a
has.
having a
and
full
that's-
figure also meant you had money. You could afford the finest of food. You are from high society.
Yeah, and also you were
That's
probably they thought
yeah.
you were less likely to die in childbirth because you got them hips.
Mhm.
And that was a terrifying period of
Of
childbirth,
that whole
historical,
whole-
terrifying.
Mhm.
Yeah, even today it's scary, but yeah, I mean that's why I have my middle age spread is because I want to look like a Regency goddess, you know.
Of course.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
So
I am mostly there.
yeah, so Sylvia and Justine, you're gonna go shopping. Mina, what do you want to do?
See a therapist.
Mina is kind of vacant.
What do you want to do?
You know, I think the adrenaline has left her, and
Calm.
I think she's just kind of wandering the streets aimlessly because she doesn't know what to do with herself.
Okay, Annalise, what are you planning to do today?
I'm to pick up some ammo.
Yes, I know you did say that you wanted to get ammunition. Okay.
Yeah, I might consider picking up a new firearm. We'll see.
Interesting. Okay, and
Mina might consider picking a fight somewhere, but yeah.
Aminata, what are your plans today?
Aminata is going to. Well, Aminata's going to find a cell.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, all right, super.
Oh, and also, is it possible for Aminata to go to where the Baron was living?
Yes, absolutely. You can totally go to his house. 100% we're doing that.
Ooh.
Okay, so I think we'll start with Sylvia and Justine. Okay? So you guys go into one of the fancier parts of the city and you find a dressmaker shop. You go in. It's early enough. It's like maybe 10 to 10, a quarter to 10 in the morning. It's not quite 10 o'clock, okay? There's a couple of mothers and daughters there, obviously looking to commission garments for whatever balls or social events are coming up. And you see there is a, I guess, matronly-esque woman there who's clearly in charge, and she has an assistant who's standing a little bit behind her, taking notes, okay? As you walk in and she sees it too, she says, "Oh, please, mademoiselles, I'm dealing with this wonderful people right now, but we will be done in 5 minutes, and then I can attend to your needs."
Sylvia's looking to Justine for guidance.
Thank you very much. And I think we're just Justine is just going to invite Sylvia to wander.
I assume
wander
she's
around.
kind of grabbing Sylvia's arm and just dragging her over to look at
Absolutely, yeah.
fabric.
Gently touching.
Yeah.
Justine knows that Sylvia is not a big fan of, oh my god, the cat. I'm so sorry, I can't.
Jesus, I can't cope.
Honestly, I can't.
This episode's sponsored by cats. In general.
It's something else.
The Beloved Pets, not the terrible movie with Taylor Swift and
Yeah,
James
no.
Corden.
Oh, I did a review on that. It was the stuff of nightmares.
I watched the trailer when Evie was about a day or two old in the middle of the night when I was feeding her. And I woke up the next day thinking, well, I was really fucking sleep deprived. I'm sure I was just tripping balls.
That can't have been like that. That must have just been a
and then I rewatched the trailer a while later. I was like, oh, okay. I thought that was just a fucking
delusion.
It actually
Hormonal.
wasn't my fever dream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I thought it was just some kind of hormonal, just post-pregnancy
Something.
I
madness.
went
I'm like,
to
no,
the
no, no, no,
cinema
no.
Oh, you poor
and I
thing.
watched it just because I was like, this cannot be as bad as that. And my God,
Yeah.
oh wow, wow. And I like
Yeah.
horror movies. Horror movies are my comfort movies. I was scarred, scarred.
Nice. True
So
horror.
the woman deals with this mother and daughter for another 5 minutes or so. Her assistant does come up to you and offer you both tea or coffee if you would like.
Sylvia would love some coffee.
Okay, so she gets you both coffee and brings it to you. And then about 5 or 6 minutes later, you're just finishing your cups when this woman comes up to you both and says, "Bonjour, my name is Angélie and welcome to my shop. What is the event? Is it perhaps a ball gown to attract the eye of a beautiful man?
No, I have.
Attract the eye of a beautiful woman? This is Paris, after all, the city of love."
Well, I am I have been invited to dinner.
D'accord.
With someone who is very fancy, and I want to make
No.
sure my dress is appropriate.
Mademoiselle, when you say very fancy, please, this is Paris.
Very
all
fancy.
Oh, well, the dinner is
So
not
fancy. So we can't mention their name.
No,
Okay, that intrigues. That does intrigue.
I will have to travel quite far, but it is
Oh.
okay because
So wait, so this is not going to be in Paris. It is in perhaps
No.
a country estate. Where?
well, it is.
That's a
it is
private information.
It's in
My apologies.
Please.
Christina's just going to be like, Sylvia. And Christina's just going to go like,
Look, it's
So,
not like you're
if
going to
we
Versailles.
disclose the location, you might figure out who the person is, and you understand we don't want any gossip, but we want to impress. And Justina's just going to wink, wink.
Okay, ladies. First of all, I can promise you, any gossip that I allow is between you and I. You do not get to be as successful as I have been in this industry without discretion, because everybody talks to their dressmaker. So, is it a ball gown?
No, it is a dress for dinner.
Okay, so evening wear. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So I'm looking at your complexion. You have a very interesting style. Okay, you like, if I may be so bold, you have a very reserved and very proper style to your clothing, because Sylvia always very, very high necklines in her garb,
Sylvia is saying absolutely nothing because the dress that she's wearing is a dress that she stole from the hospital.
Yes, I chose.
Because her own clothes were burned rags, so like she stole.
But that's the
this
thing.
dress.
So the dress that you stole is a very, and you like it because it was very reserved, very kind of like muted colors, and it's an exceptionally high neckline as well. Not like there's pleating. Well, there was in the ball gowns pleating necklines, but outside of that, there wasn't. But she's like, okay, so what colors are we talking here? Are we talking? I assume you're not going to be wanting to wear delicate pastels.
Ew.
I also feel that way about pastels.
Oh, not the
But I
pastels.
reminded-
Pastels were very popular in
See,
1872.
I feel that way about pastels. Sylvia doesn't. Sylvia loves pastels. Sylvia's favorite color is sort of pinky kind of lilac. So just she's not. I am actually going. I'm currently going through my my pictures of dresses that I have at the moment.
So, what kind of color is Sylvia thinking?
I'm thinking maybe something a little muted and maybe soft. What would be appropriate for a very fancy dinner? With somebody who has done
a deep dark
a
burgundy, a vibrant purple, a royal blue, a forest green, an emerald green, an azure.
Maybe blue. I think. What do you think, Justine? Would blue be appropriate, or maybe?
Yeah, I think Justin is just going to look at Sylvia and be like, "Yes, I think blue or green would be the best."
Okay. So yeah, something blue maybe. But I know for dinner the style would obviously be quite different to a ball gown.
Oh, of course. So a smaller bustle for one thing, because you're sitting at chairs. And I assume you're wanting. The impression I'm getting is that you favor a high neckline. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Particularly. Well, just.
What if we added some sort of a brocade effect on the body to accentuate the bust line?
Oh. Okay. If you think, Neil, I'm actually going to send you a picture of a blue dress.
Unfortunately, I can't share the image on. Oh, maybe I could. Are you sending it by email?
I can send it by email.
Or do I? Yes, please send it by email.
Okay, give me 2 seconds.
Can you send it in the players chat as well?
I can. Give me 2 seconds. Fire attach. That's done.
Okay.
And sorry. Okay. So I was thinking something maybe a royal blue, with some nice buttons down the front. I have seen this before, and when I have walked around Paris in some of the fancier areas. But yeah, I would trust your judgment more than mine, of course.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How soon could you have it ready, though? I am not sure when this invitation will come. I really need it as soon as possible.
How soon do you need it?
Maybe in the next couple of days. I think. I'm not sure. I have not received the information. Dante, I am happy to pay for the labor.
Well, okay. So I assume we'll be putting in a lace effect as well, with the ribbons and the folding. It'll be the outer layer and the under layer. Will you be needing undergarments, petticoats, new corsetry?
I'm looking at Justine here. Do I?
Justine is like, she knows that Sylvia has like 3.5 items in her wardrobe, and she'll be like, yes, we will be needing all of that.
So if we need a full ensemble, including hosiery, petticoats, corsetry, we will need an extensive list of measurements from you right now. And we can have it ready. Use 3 days. Is that what you said?
Oh, yeah, as soon as possible. 3 days sounds very reasonable, though.
I could get in some additional stuff. We using enchanted needles. Impossible. It will be expensive, though. Normally, something like this would take me about 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want it in 3 days, with everything, that will be 20 gold.
Okay.
I will need to hire a number of additional staff to help me with this.
No, I understand.
Okay.
Thank you very much. We're very
So
grateful for your work.
she takes Sylvia into the back room, and you spend like the next 20.
Before
Yeah?
we do that, Sylvia is going to just mention I was in that fire, and I don't want to upset or shock you, but
I
feel
have
like
seen every single shape of body in this city.
okay.
Okay. So she spends the next 20 minutes with you, taking your measurements. When she sees the scars, her demeanor changes in that she becomes softer, sweeter, almost more motherly towards you as she is taking your
Oh.
measurements.
So
So
we
yeah,
just even want to. Sylvia won't even look at her at this
yeah.
point.
So
It's like,
yeah.
oh god.
So yeah, after about 20 minutes, they have all your measurements. You get dressed again, and yeah, she's like, okay, we'll come back in 3 days.
Okay. Thank you for that, Justine. I don't. I'm
No.
very lost in all of this, and
I didn't.
I am going to dinner with an elf.
I know. Justine is almost like kind of like I know, almost on the edge of something, like.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
am terrified.
Okay, so Annalise. Excuse me. So Annalise, you head to the Session City where you can get firearms, shop that. You've been in here once or twice before, and the first time you're here, the guys are being really weird because they're not used to women buying guns and bullets and stuff. It's usually men, rich men buying rifles and bullets for their rifles for their hunting, But they now know you as you come in and say, bonjour, mademoiselle. Are we going off to, what is it we are hunting this day? What was it last time? It was unicorns last time. It's giants this week, is it? Wait.
9. Griffin last time.
Of course. A griffin.
Yeah.
Wait. Pierre, a griffin.
I-
It says to the other guy, it was a griffin. Mademoiselle, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I have never had the pleasure of hunting a unicorn, but I rather think it would be bad form.
Oh, I'd rather be probably deadly. They are considered one of the most dangerous creatures in the forest.
Yeah, precisely.
Yes.
I'm a good shot, but all it takes is one mistake.
Right. So, what can we help you with today, mademoiselle?
I will likely be dealing with more airborne problems, but also some things on the ground. I'll need to restock both rounds for my pistol and my rifle.
Mm-hmm.
I take out my pistol, place it on a desk.
Yeah.
Rifle the same.
Mm-hmm.
I've kept them in good repair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you have any stock that might be a little punchier.
How punchy?
These work for me day to day. I don't have the strength for a troll gun. I wish that I did, but
okay, so not that punchy.
Yeah,
I do not have it. I do not have a troll gun in stock. I could get you one. Honestly, because you. So I can't remember. You have a rifle and pistols, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So they say to you, like, the rifle that you have is a good rifle. It's one of the better.
Yeah, it served me well.
I mean, if you wanted something more powerful than that, you would need to be upgrading to a troll gun.
Yeah, I like this sort of Fortitude 4 one. Too much punch. The recoil is hard to manage.
Like, the thing with a troll, so your rifle is 1d12 plus 2 plus your awareness, obviously. A troll gun base damage die is 2d12 plus 6.
Wow.
What?
That's a big jump.
Yes.
But there's a strength requirement for them, right?
I kind of want a troll gun.
No, there's not there is no strength. I mean,
it's just having the skill, isn't it?
It's just like, but the thing is that it's like it's a single shot, and then it's 2 minors or a major action to reload it.
Oof, yeah, that's
the thing, because like we're talking about a firearm, the barrel of which is over a meter long, this is like basically elephant rifle, but in Feyre they're called troll guns because they were designed for fighting trolls and giantkin, not elephants in South Asia.
Well, that might be worth me looking at a little later on. How much would... obviously, you have to source one.
I do have some enchanted ammunition.
I was about to ask about that. Yeah, I have some at the moment, but only a handful. If I can handle things at distant range, so if you have something that would give me my shots a little more oomph, yeah, I would be interested.
I do have some bullets of piercing. They will pierce through even the strongest of mundane armor and any sort of natural fey armor or non-enchanted armor made of fey iron, if you're fighting such a creature, which you probably would, is significantly reduced, and even enchanted armor is partially reduced by these.
Yeah, that sounds good. I
do have a small number for a revolver now. The bullets of piercing I have for a rifle, these are for a revolver, thundershot bullets.
So I've seen them in use once or twice.
So when fired from a gun, they explode on impacts, and a wave travels in a 5-meter radius from the point of impact. Anyone inside the wave must succeed a fortitude versus a target number of 21, or suffer 3d10 kinetic damage and be knocked prone. Upon a success, half damage and not knocked prone.
Yeah. I like that. We might be dealing with some clusters. I sometimes struggle with these group together targets. Okay. Right.
But these are expensive, Madame Gaultier. So it would be 30 gold for 10 thundershot.
Okay. Yeah.
And it would be 15 gold for 10 bullets of piercing.
Do you carry any shotguns?
Away, of course, but what do you... I mean, you realize, of course, that shotguns are better for close distance than... The further the target is from you, the less damage you will do. Because how the mechanics of a shotgun works is the damage die drops as you go into a further range category. So at short range, it's 1d12 plus 4. At medium range, you're doing 1d6 plus 4. And at long range, you're doing 1d3.
Yeah, I was considering something for some closer range altercations, but my pistol should serve me well. Okay. So 45, you said, for the thundershot and the piercing.
Yes.
How many of each? 10
of each, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I will take them.
Okay, cool. So add them to your character sheet. So the bullets of piercing, as I said, they ignore mundane armor. Non-enchanted fey armor and natural fey armor is halved, and enchanted armor is reduced by 2. Okay. And then the bullets of the thundershot bullets. I can share this with you after the game as well.
Yeah, if you shoot that to me later, that'd be great.
I can shoot it you later. So that does the normal damage of the bullet type, the revolver bullet, to the person you shoot, but then sends off this blast wave from them that does additional kinetic damage. Okay,
good to know. I would also need some standard ammunition. 15 rounds of pistol, and will match it. 15 of the rifle as well, if I could.
So it's like 6 silver. So wait, so you say 15 rounds of pistols? Yes.
Pistol
sorry, not 6. Rifle. Sorry, I'm not 6 silver. It's a gold for the pistols and for the rifle bullets, and then for the... Where the feck is my... Oh, there we go. And then for the... He sells packs of 20 lead bullets for your revolver for 2 silver for a pack of 10.
Oh, perfect. That'll do.
Okay.
2 silver
God.
for a pack of 10. Nice.
Yeah, I'll take 2 packs if we're going for.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 1 gold gets me 15 rifle rounds, and I've got 20 for 4 silver. Cool.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Lovely. And I'll just nod to them. Well,
Yeah.
wish me
See,
good hunting.
I remember buying bullets all the time in campaign 1.
Oh yeah. We're gonna tear through them.
So, Mina.
Yeah.
Mina, you go for a wander, yes? Can you do me a favor? Roll a d10.
D10.
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck? Okay, yes. No, it's percent. And now yeah,
I know, sorry. Well, it doesn't matter if it's percent off. So.
7.
Okay, cool. 7. So you just go wandering.
I'm scared.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm wandering. Yes.
You're in Montmartre and you wander along the streets. You're going through into a slightly more rundown area. Few people looking at you strangely, but then looking away because they recognize somebody who knows how to carry themselves. Nobody's bothering you. Continue on a bit further, coming into a more industrial area where there's some factories. The air is thick with soot and smog from the coal burning in the furnaces, whistles and noises from the machinery, and then you pass by there into more of a slightly more commercial warehousing area, and then past that coming into a slightly nicer, more residential area, until you finally find yourself coming upon a small graveyard. It's a cloistered, in amongst a ring of houses, okay? Probably 10 meters square, okay? Numerous, there's iron railings around it, but the gate is open. You go in. There's a couple of old trees. One you recognize as a yew tree, and then there's another silver birch as well, and some very old graves here. But you sit yourself down at a stone bench and you're looking at this grave in front of you. And it's a very old, weathered face. And you see 2 names. The first name is Pierre Mont, and you can't quite make out the surname because of erosion. And it looks like you can make out 1721 to 1721 to 1802. Okay. And then below that you see beloved wife Marie, and it's about 3 years later she was born, but she lived for another 10 years past him. And then you also see a number of children's names as well, because the time period that we're in, unfortunately, infant mortality was quite high, and there was a couple of children that appeared to have been buried there first, and then the father and the mother, they also used the same grave over the years. And it's just it's reminding you of some of the family graves back home, because you would have similar things of, the family using the same plot, and you think about some arguments that had been had with your mother and your father about possible discussions of paying for your brother's name to go on a tombstone, even though you didn't have his body. And you had said, no, we're not doing that. I'm going to go. And one of the last conversations you'd had with your mother was an argument. You'd had many arguments with your mother over your life where you'd said, his name's not going on a piece of stone. I'm going to bring him home. And you did. And when you did bring him home, your mother did pull you aside at one point and had said, thank you for not letting me do that. And had given you a hug, which is something she didn't do a lot with you. And this is just bringing that back to you now. So,
like a single tear going down my.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Mina needs so many hugs right now.
But this is very emotional, but almost in a cathartic way for you. You're like, this is bringing back a flood of emotions that you have gone through, you've experienced, but you're remembering, like, no, I saved my brother. I brought him home.
Yeah.
He's back home with mother and father because I did that, And it's kind of funny because the ingrained Catholic self-deprecation and pride is a sin is immediately kicking in. No, you can't be proud. Before you can stop yourself, it's kicking in, and you're like, but no, actually, I should be proud. I saved my brother. He's at home. And this struggle that you're currently having with your faith is like, it's coming to the surface, but it's not taking over the feelings you're having right now. And you have a moment, and it's quite a beautiful moment.
I will take out my pen
Mm-hmm.
and messenger pen.
Yeah.
Does it say like how far it actually?
I think 50 kilometers.
Remember.
Unfortunately, it's 50 kilometers.
50 kilometers.
You're a lot further than 50 kilometers from your brother, unfortunately.
I am. Then I'll take out a piece of paper and just start just kind of
writing old school.
Writing a letter and
yes.
No, this is bullshit, and ripping it out and crumbling it down, throwing it on the floor, and then starting. And by the time I finish, I have like quite a few papers around me discarded because I don't know what to say.
But you have a really beautiful. It's not very long because you're not someone who writes long letters.
Yeah.
But it's short, but your brother will get what you mean, what you're saying in this letter.
Oh yeah, no, I just kind of tell him that nobody will get hurt anymore.
Yeah.
I took care of it.
Yeah.
And I wrap it up and I just make a mental note, like, I'll have to go to a post office and post that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you eventually go, you find a post office, you post it, and you find a nice little cafe, and you get yourself a coffee or a hot chocolate or something, and you have some beef, you have a patisserie, and you're actually in a pretty good place.
And I'm kind of
thinking
like, oh, mother will think like that is a terrible indulgence that I'm doing right now.
Yes, but your father would approve because your father's a terrible sweet
absolutely
tooth.
And I'm kind of sitting there and feeling like
father's a satire fey touched. Of course he's going to approve.
But like, do you know me? Mum would be like, yeah, that's a terrible indulgence, and Dad would be like, do you know what I mean? And like every time when we go shopping or he goes into an errand and I go help him, he'd always buy me something when I was little. But like I'd sit there and kind of feel like, oh, Mum, and then I feel like, do you know what? Screw you, and order an extra piece of something.
Yes. Yes. Excellent.
Just
wonderful.
Spite her, like
absolutely.
You'll have a spiteful slice of something.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
The best kind of spite.
Through comfort eating, rage eating is a thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Super. So, Aminata, you had to this very, very wealthy, very affluent part of the city where the Baron had his fabulous house. You're not sure what to expect because he's dead. He's been dead a few days. It's not the kind of place where, a gang is going to realize and break in. It's not that part of the city, but you're not quite sure what to expect. But as you come along the street towards him, what you see in front of you is not what you would have ever expected at all. Because there is a group of workmen, traveling in and out of the house, carrying crates, the possessions of the Baron, putting them into the backs of wagons and cabins. And you see there's a woman directing them all. She is stunningly beautiful, raven black hair, delicate porcelain skin, high cheekbones, full lips with stormy grey eyes, impeccably dressed in the finest,
correct?
In the finest of clothes. A beautiful, vibrant, kind of deep burgundy red gown with beautiful lace work and you can see what looks like black pearl detailing on it. And she is
Damn.
carrying in her hand the most exquisite parasol, but made of a jet black lace.
Oh shit!
It's
As
happening
she is
again.
directing,
No.
as she is directing the workmen, like clearly emptying the Baron's estate, putting his possessions into the various wagons and caravans, being and like at a woman's like, the two men stumbled and the interruption was like, if you drop that, your family will not recognize your body. And her voice is so cold. The men's like the color drains from their face. Like, of course, miss, I'm sorry, miss. And they're like scurrying with this like pretty big, heavy looking crate as she's directing them all. As you're, that was cocked. As you're standing there, bum bum bum, and you do see her eyes just pause on you and giving you a look up and down. She's noticed you standing there as she then goes back to directing the men. With this absolute authority.
Oh,
this
crap.
is a woman clearly of extreme wealth, power, and influence.
Damn.
That's terrifying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a family resemblance?
No.
Oh shit.
No
Okay, right.
resemblance. The only I'll tell you where the resemblance is. She gives off that same commanding presence of power and strength that the Baron gave off.
No, I'm not going there again. Absolutely the fuck not.
Round 2.
Oh god, no.
God damn it, Amonado! He's not falling for the sexy hot.
Just finding hot vampires everywhere. Hot vampires in your rich neighborhood.
Listen,
Jesus Christ!
During the day. It's not even my fault. It's during the day, like.
Yeah, which makes it even more egregious.
It really is. Okay, and she's fucking spotted me.
She has spotted you.
I mean, you look like you belong in this kind of neighborhood.
You do. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah,
You do not look at a place in this neighborhood, you know? I mean, you do stand out, obviously, with your dark complexion.
Yeah.
Because there, like, of course, there was black people in Paris in the 19th fucking century. But not that many super rich black people in Paris in the 19th century.
Yeah.
You know, like, let's be honest.
Okay, cool. So I'm just going to kind of like school my face so it looks like I'm just kind of like, oh, okay. You know, just like one of those like fanciful ladies who's like, oh, this is some interesting gossip for the ladies.
Yes.
You know, just kind of trying to go that way, and then I'm just going to continue on my path, but I'm not going to stop and do what I wanted to do. And I'm just going to pass by and say, yes, Nini. Nini agrees.
Walk past and go, meow.
Meow.
You come up and
stuff.
approach the sexy vampire lady.
Meow.
Meow. Yeah, so I'm just kind of going to walk close by and say, oh, bonjour. And just kind of acknowledge the men working and just say, oh, there was a quite fetching gentleman who was here recently. Oh, is he away so soon?
Yes, the Baron, he has had to move. He has had to leave the city, unfortunately. I do not think he will be back anytime soon.
Oh, that's quite a shame. He was quite pleasing to the eye. Oh well.
When you say that, she like gets this very soft smile, and you can see like a look, like a remembrance on her face. As she says like, "Oh yes, he was a beautiful man."
Oh, is this another wife? Oh, I will kill him all over again. Would I
tonight on Sister Wives?
Or maybe my wife.
My wife.
My wife.
Wife to be.
Yeah, so I'm not just gonna be like obviously it's cool reaction and be like, oh, well, clearly you were quite involved with him, so I will take my leave. And I'm just going to walk on away, just kind of keep my head high.
I'm gonna walk away. Funk.
Amanasa, give me a resolve roll.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh,
And I bet you put a roll like a 1 or something. Fuck my life.
You have your
I mean,
inspiration die.
I do. I haven't forgotten about that.
And the Feylock. Don't
Yes.
forget the Feylock. So it's like a +10 if you need it, or like +5, and then whatever you roll in the fucking D8. Come on.
I do think you failing this will be much funnier.
Oh, please don't, please.
I mean,
I can't be stopped again. I
yeah.
cannot.
We find out you're wasting away in bed again. We go, come on.
You and vampires. What? Like that's fucking.
Okay, so wait, that was the +5. Hold on, what's my result? Jesus, I'm gonna need all
not
the help
that
I
high.
can get. Okay.
You have a resolve of 0.
No,
and this is.
I have a resolve of 2.
No, you have a charm of 2. You have a resolve of 0. Oh wait, sorry, I'm looking at Annalise. Apologies. You do have a resolve of 2.
Yeah, I have a resolve of 0.
You also have the Feylock.
Yes. Yeah. So that is going to be. So that's a 14 with that. I might use my inspiration die.
So is that with the is that 14 with the +5?
Yeah. I have my inspiration die, so I might just need to use this.
Roll that. Yeah, I'd say roll that. Hey, you know what? Roll that.
I would recommend that you use the inspiration die.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
No. Okay. That is a. That's a 21 with that. I rolled a 7.
Okay.
That's pretty good. I don't think Amanata's coming home.
Oh, please, not again.
Not another one.
What is it with you with vampires? Seriously?
What can I say? My blood is intoxicating, apparently.
You do not have you don't have arcane resistance, do you? No, you don't. Okay. Right. So, what would you say that was again? 21?
That was 21. Oh, shit.
Oh, no. What?
Oh, no.
So, Amanata...
Wait. I still have... Do I've an amulet from Gwyn?
That was an amulet. No, she took back her amulet
rolls or something.
And she
the amulet of luck.
Do you still have that?
Yeah.
I think you should still.
I didn't give it back.
No, it wasn't even taken back.
Okay, right.
Did Gwyn not
You couldn't give it back because Gwyn disappeared.
Okay.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Wait. I need to look up a very specific... I can't remember if that's a major or minor amulet. I think it's a minor amulet.
If you're re-rolling, can you still use that Feylock and stuff? Or
Fortune. So you get actually with this you get to add Gwyn's resolve to your roll.
To my roll. Yeah.
And you also get a luck point. A second luck point. So you get to add her +5 to the roll. So what does that bring it up to?
26. So that brings me up to 26, yeah.
Okay. And you can use this additional luck point from the Amulet of the Fortune if you want to bring it up to a 31.
Somehow, I don't know why, but if I'm...
If he says it like that, then do it.
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, I'll fucking do it. But I'm worried that the fact that I'll be so resistant to this, she's going to be like, that's interesting, because that's what vampires always fucking do. They're like, oh, you are strong and you smell good. That's how I got off the first time.
That's you going, I'm not a normal person.
Exactly.
Yeah, so are we going to keep this? Are we going to keep the second bit of luck?
True.
Okay, so
okay,
so can I have awareness? So then I want you to give me awareness, keen eyes.
Awareness, keen eyes. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Honestly, my anxiety is through the roof, guys.
Oh, same here. I'm actually having like fucking flashbacks right now. I'm sweating like a sinner in church.
Yeah.
Mina would be proud.
So, awareness, keen eyes.
Keen eyes. My heart rate's at 87. So like,
it's better than my resting.
Susie's
Awareness,
resting is like 60 something.
awareness,
Insane. I
keen eye. So
wish.
that is a +3. So that is only
Yeah.
a 17.
Do you want to add your second moot of luck from the Amulet of Fortune?
Fuck it, why not?
Okay,
Yeah.
you add your second, that brings it to 22. So this is what happens. You feel a pressure inside your head, almost like somebody is pushing in, and there's a fuzziness, and you push back against this feeling, and the beautiful stormy gray eyes of this porcelain skinned goddess narrow as she's looking at you. And I think that is a perfect place to pause in her story.
Oh,
Ah,
no.
shit!
Come on.
Shit! I should
Oh,
have just.
damn it, Aminata.
Oh, for
You're
fuck's sake!
fucking
Tired of these
What is
vampires.
it with you and
Terrorists.
vampires? Seriously.
I'm just delicious.
Apparently. Blood like
Jesus
syrup.
Christ.
My God.
So,
Sandra
If I
Harris
was-
of the group or what?
if
I
I
mean,
was-
honestly.
If I was too weak, she would have been like, "Oh,
There was no winning.
there was
Yeah,
no winning.
like,
There was no winning either way.
that's-
She's
yeah.
gonna follow me and shit. Oh god damn it. Yeah, we need to.
I would
leave
say
Paris.
that I'd say this is better though, because if you had resisted, she might put you down as like a person who dealt with the Baron.
so thank
Like
you
at least
all.
this way you're regular human.
Thank you all for joining us tonight for a wonderfully fun session.
God.
I was very curious how tonight was going to happen. My paranoid players all convinced that Josephine had betrayed them all,
Kill.
and then turning into a shopping episode, but a fun shopping episode and some beautiful heartfelt moments with everybody. We will be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Love you all. See you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey.
Yes.
Oh, what the fuck?
God damn it, Neil.
Insane.
You are
And
fucking
say-
vampires.
Oh my god! And like normally in most games, I'd be like, "Yes, I'm gonna marry me a vampire." Not in this
For sure.
fucking game. They're scary as
Oh,
hell,
no.
bro.
The vampires in this game are based on the original fucking Slavic
They're
folklore.
not the fucking
Not
sexy.
horny
My
Victorians.
anxiety
I mean,
is
they are
through the fucking roof right now. I mean, what the fuck?
Well, sorry, Christina. I hope you enjoyed that moment I gave you in the graveyard. I was
That was
trying.
beautiful.
that was
Yeah.
nice. That was
I
very
wanted.
sweet,
I
yeah.
wanted after beating Mont Clerc. You needed that moment.
Yeah.
I
So
did, yeah.
that
No,
was-
definitely.
that
I
was-
Me and
probably thought
needed that.
I thought I was gonna fucking cry.
I
Yeah.
was
You were.
waiting, Susie, for you to break there. I was totally
That was
waiting for you to
close.
break on stream, and that's what I wanted. So
Nah,
thank you all.
I've already cried on stream. It's not happening again.
I think if
Oh,
I had
God.
started, then Susie would have started.
Oh,
Yeah, then it was
well,
dominoes,
absolutely,
isn't it?
yeah.
Would have
for
been a
sure,
domino
for sure.
effect. If
You'll be
somebody
like-
I cried.
I have already
Like the
cried
last
on the
time.
internet. People do not need to see it happen again, okay?
This is why people come to my
Mood.
game for the fields, you know.
I
First
can't.
time-
I cannot cry on live because I have this on my face.
Yeah.
And
It's gonna get
Heinrich
real bad. If
Freaks.
Yeah.
The first time Sylvia got a letter from Heinrich, I was like, "Oh, that's really nice." And the next thing, you're like,
Yeah.
Well, what can I say? You know, this is our stream
That's what I
stands out.
say. Campaign 1, the end of it, within like a minute.
under 2 minutes.
Oh, my
T
God.
and I were both like,
If I had sucked in that sob, I think we would have been okay. But as soon as I
Yeah.
did that, I looked at
But
you
you're
and then
starting to
Broken
sob
down.
at the table, and
Yeah.
everybody
and then
went
you
like,
were
yeah.
and then like next thing I realized, oh great.
we're just with it. But also
Well,
That
Like
was
one-
when Selena was young and she was with Miggles that you heard
Don't
about
even.
now,
Oh my
and
God, I'll start crying all
she
over
was
again, Christina.
leaving, thinking she's not going to come back alive from the battle, and like having the engagement ring at home
Yeah.
on the table.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so many feels.
Heartbreaking.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, I promise I will.
So
do
proud
this-
of that.
I will.
Oh,
I
it's beautiful.
promise by the
And
end
now
of
they have a
this
beautiful
campaign.
daughter,
Yes, by
all
the end
grown
of
up.
by the end of this campaign, I will have made you all cry. I promise.
No,
I see that
cry,
as a
I cry
challenge.
really
Fucking
fucking
walk.
easily. It's just
I
like,
know you
no.
do. I know you do.
I've been
But
close
So
a couple of
bad.
times, but
Yeah.
like, not quite.
anyway, thank you, my wonderful people. This was a really fun session. And
I love how cats just.
Now the
kept-
pretty cat.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like
all
cats.
these beautiful cats. All right. So listen, I'm gonna let you all go. We'll chat
Mhm.
soon. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
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 See you next week.
Mm.